Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today I want to start another travel vlog because tomorrow morning I will go to Italy and I will do a 2-week tour through Italy by train. This is something I have been dreaming about for so many years and I'm finally doing it. So I'm extremely excited for this trip. I also know that I will be very tired and grumpy tomorrow because I have to leave quite early. So I wanted to do the introduction into this vlog today. So what you will see in this vlog is the first part of this trip. I decided to split this up into 3 parts because, as I have shown with my Paris vlog, I can do long ass videos about a week of travel. So in this first part, we will go to Venice, Bologna, and Florence. And I have been to Venice 3 times before, I think, but every time has been for work, and I always traveled there in November. So I will be very intrigued to see what it's like in tourist season. I love Venice. I love it. It's so stunningly beautiful. I don't know if I will love it in the summer. So I'm intrigued to see how that will end up being. I do not have like a ton of time in each of these destinations. I will have 1.5 days in Venice, then basically 2 days in Bologna and 2 days in Florence. I have not been to Bologna and Florence yet, so those we will explore together. And yeah, I think that's all for this little intro clip. I will speak to you again, hopefully, when I have arrived in Venice very late tomorrow evening. So, wish me luck. Hey you guys, I made it into my very golden hotel room in Venice. I'm not gonna lie to you, this was not a pleasant journey. I took this train from Munich to Venice 3 years ago, a little bit less than 3 years ago, and I thought it was quite the pleasant trip. I don't think it, like the train was quite old, but it was quite spacious. Mind you, it also wasn't in high season, so there were way less people. However, yeah, I just really enjoyed the views. I think just, riding a train through the mountains is like really pretty, like through the Alps, is like stunning. You really get a feel for the landscape. It's amazing. However, this trip was straight out of hell. I don't know. This was like the most cursed train ride I've had in a very long time, and I have had some cursed train rides. So basically, we already started out with 20 minutes too late, just because the train had some trouble. Along the way, they exchanged the train, so that then we again had about 20 minutes of like time that we were late because of that. And then in Bolzano, the train broke down. So basically we were told to just get off the train and use like regional train that was going to Bologna. So basically this whole train squeezed into that other train that really was not prepared for us. And yeah, we were in there until Verona, which is quite a bit. And then in Verona, I had to switch again for my final train. So this was a little bit it was cursed. It was just cursed. They also didn't have enough room for the luggage on the original train. So it was like complete chaos. Yeah, it was horrible. I don't know. I don't know why they did these new trains and then they didn't like leave room for luggage. Like obviously with a train like that, a lot of people use it to go on vacation. Okay. But I'm here now and you don't want to hear about that. So let me give you maybe two first tips when it comes to Venice. This is my fourth time here. I love Venice. It's beautiful. I'm already so glad I'm back. The first tip is, especially if you arrive late at night, but also in general, bring water. You shouldn't really drink the water that is from the tap here, just because everything is very old and you just don't know. I have done it before because I was very desperate, but I just wouldn't recommend it in general. So bring water, because Venice is not really a very populated place, so they don't really have a lot of supermarkets here. It's very hard to find one, and you don't want to run out to find one on your first night. They did give me a tiny little bottle of water as a welcome gift, so that at least is nice. But yeah, in general, just bring water if you come to Venice. And then the second thing is prepare to walk and prepare to carry your luggage, because there's a lot of bridges with a lot of steps, and those are like very, very awkward steps as well. It's not fun. So in this hotel where I'm currently, this one is very easy to find because you only have to use like very big streets to get to it, which is great. If you have a hotel that is closer to the Piazza San Marco, it gets very, very difficult to get there very quickly. And I would say turn off Google Maps and follow the signs if you have a hotel that is close to that area. That is usually where I stayed when I was here before, because I got here always for work, and that was like the most, the closest location to where I had to go for work. So yeah, this is my first time trying a different area. So yeah, so far I'm liking this one. You have more like bigger streets and more restaurants and stuff like that, more shopping stuff. I feel like the area around San Marco is a little bit more authentic, because it is all of those like very small streets and corners, and yeah, but it's nice. So yeah, I'm just gonna go to bed now. I'm just gonna go sleep. Bye. So this is already almost the end of my stay in Venice. I'm about to check out of my hotel, and then I have about 1.5 hours, 2 hours to still walk around a little bit before I have to go to my train and go to Bologna, which I'm very excited about. I definitely had a good day yesterday. I went everywhere. I went to the Rialto Bridge. The Piazza di San Marco. the Palazzo Ducale. Yeah, just about everywhere. I definitely had a wonderful time. The weather was quite good. It wasn't too warm, but the moistness of the air, I don't know how you say that in English, it was very high. So it still felt very hot. So yeah, if you do want to explore this city, I think it is like definitely a bit challenging in the summer, but also the crowds weren't as bad as I thought they would be. So I don't know if that's already like past its prime or whether it's not as bad as I always imagined, but I really didn't have like too many issues with like too many people. I did not go into the Basilica San Marco. I have been in there before many years ago, and I just didn't want to be in the queue. If you go here for your first time, I would definitely say go in if you're interested, but there is a ton of beautiful churches in Venice. I think I went into about 6 or 7 maybe. I didn't really record in most of them because they don't really want you to, so I respect that. But yeah, you usually see a beautiful church. When the doors are open, you can just enter and just take a breather. Also, I really like just sitting down in a church and just taking in the environment a little bit and stuff. So yeah, definitely recommend that. Apart from that, maybe 2 things I wanted to mention before I let you go. One thing is about postcards and stamps, because I got scammed yesterday and I don't want this to happen to you as well. So yesterday I bought 2 postcards for some friends and they offered me stamps with it, and I did take them and I didn't look at them until I was back in my hotel, and then I realized that they're not normal stamps, they're scammer stamps, and they do that here pretty much everywhere. So you really don't want to buy stamps anywhere that is not an official post office. So my recommendation would be buy your postcards, write your postcards, then go to the post office, buy the stamps and just leave them there. Then you don't have like the trouble to go somewhere twice. I spent the whole evening yesterday trying to find a place where I can get those like scammer stamps shipped, because you can only get them to very specific places or they won't ship at all. However, I used their website. There's like different scam operations here, but I used the website, and pretty much all of the places listed on the website didn't use those scammer stamps anymore. They used different ones, so they didn't take them. And now I have these, and I will try in like other cities whether maybe I will find a place where I can still ship these. Or if I can't, I will just have to pay twice. Those scammer stamps are also more expensive, so just look up the price for like the real shipping cost from the post office, and if they offer you stamps that are more expensive, don't ever buy them. Don't do it. So yeah, I'm really frustrated with that right now. Apart from that, I also wanted to mention that Italy, especially in old buildings, still has different plugs for your electronics. So it might be that you need to get a specific adapter. Now, the nicer hotels like this one already have kind of like adaptable plugs, which is like, yeah, a little bit different. So I didn't have any issues here. Luckily, I could charge all of my devices. But that's something to keep in mind if you want to travel here, because the Venice houses are all very old, and it might be that they only have the old like plug thingies. And then sometimes, if you're very lucky, this has happened to me before, sometimes if you check behind the TV, sometimes there they have the plugs that you need. So just a little tip on the side. last little walk around Venice. I thought maybe about going to the old Jewish ghetto that existed here. We'll see. Yeah, I definitely overdid it a little bit yesterday looking for those damn stamp places, and now I'm very tired. I slept for over 9 hours. I'm yeah, ready to move on. So I have made it to my hotel in Bologna, where I will again be staying for 2 nights. And I'm not gonna lie, I really find this a little bit cringe. The only reason I'm here is because they have a pool. I'm just gonna be honest with you. This is one of those hotels that tries to be like really cool and hip. And that's just not me. Not me at all. I mean, there's even a condom on the bedside table. But I'm here for the pool. I hope the breakfast will be okay. And I'm here for the pool. So we'll see. Yeah, the train ride was very pleasant. Maybe one thing I will keep in mind for the rest of the train rides is that they do air condition quite a bit. So I was actually a little bit cold because I get cold very easily. So I think the next time I won't put my sweater in the luggage. I'll just have it in my backpack so I can put it on if needed. Now it is very warm here. So I think in a couple of minutes I will actually take advantage of that pool. And then I'll probably make a plan to head into town for tonight to grab some dinner and explore a little bit. And then I'll have the whole day tomorrow, and then I'm leaving the day after that. So that should be plenty of time to feel around a little bit. The other thing that's really great about this hotel is that it is literally right next to the train station. So I didn't really have to walk far. It's like not even 10 minutes, I think. So yeah, ready for that stay here. I'm definitely having a little bit of back problems, so I think some swimming will help with that. So I am ready to move on from beautiful Bologna to Florence today, but I wanted to give you a little bit of an update about my stay here in the learned city. So when I got here, I must confess it was a little bit of a cultural shock going from Venice, where you don't have any cars, to Italian traffic and so many construction sites. So they are currently building a lot here. It seems like they're extending the tram or modernizing it or something. So all of the like major streets seem to be under construction, and it's really a lot. However, yeah, I made it to the Piazza Maggiore on my first night here, and it's very stunning. Like, I don't think I have seen a place that like really screams Middle Ages like that in all of my life, probably. Like, usually in Germany, when you have like these Middle Ages stuff, it is like castles, but not like, you know, the whole like city center or whole square where all of the buildings just look so old and still are in use. So I think that's like really, really cool, and it's definitely a vibe here. Then I found myself some dinner, but yeah, I was quite overwhelmed, to be honest, and I didn't really have like a good little travel guidebook. I did have one for Bologna that was available at my library, but I didn't feel like it gave me a good idea of like what to do here. So in the end, I spontaneously looked up guided tours, and I signed myself up for two guided tours. One was a walking tour through the like major sites, and the other one was a guided tour for the Archiginnasio, because I was very certain I wanted to see that. Bologna is famous as the like very old university town, so I wanted to get a little bit of that feel for myself. And I'm very glad I did that. I think the tours were very great, and they also filled up my day quite nicely. So the first tour started around, I think, 10:30, and yeah, it was set up to be 2 hours. We had more like 2.5 hours because the guide got like very into things and showed us more than was originally planned. So that was like really cool. We started out with the old stock exchange building that is on the Piazza Maggiore. It's kind of behind the Neptune fountain, and this is a great building because now it is a public library, so you have a little bar inside and just a lot of seating. And so if you are in Bologna and you just need a little bit of a break, this is a great place to know to just sit down and like breathe for a couple of minutes. And then also in the kind of cellar of that, you have some ancient ruins that you can see. So she also showed us those and talked a little bit about the history of Bologna, since this was already a very important area for the Romans and stuff. So yeah, that was like really great. And then we did the usual stuff like the San Petronius church thing. I'm not actually quite sure what it's called, but that is an unfinished church, which is also very interesting. You can see that it has the beautiful facade, but it only goes like a little bit up, and then there's nothing on top, basically just the bricks. So it's a very, very interesting vibe. And she also talked a little bit about why it wasn't finished and how nowadays the unfinished part is kind of what makes this one special as well. And yeah, then we also went to the two towers, which is not a Lord of the Rings reference. It is like one of the kind of symbols of the area here of Bologna. And those were towers that rich families, noble families built so they could hide in them if their rivals decided to attack them, which is kind of funny. And they are very, very tall. One of them had to be cut down a little bit because it is starting to tilt and it's not quite safe anymore. And the other one is like so tall, it's like crazy. Like I could not go up there no matter what my enemies would do. But yeah, that was like really interesting as well. And then in the afternoon, I went to the Archiginnasio Tour, and this is the old building where the university was kind of placed between, I think, the 1500s and the late 1700s. It ended with Napoleon. He decided to put the university into different buildings. But yeah, that was like super interesting. And it's a very old building. And what I did not know is that it was also destroyed during the Second World War. A bomb hit it that was kind of like misplaced. It wasn't supposed to hit there, but the train station here is very central to Italy, and so it was a very popular place to be bombed. And the city center is about 20 minutes by foot from the train station, so there were some that also destroyed the sites here. So yeah, that was like very interesting also to see kind of the restored places, and they did so well. Like, you wouldn't know if you weren't told. So I'm very glad I did the tour to learn all about that. So that's what I did here. And maybe for like some food advice, I don't think I said that for Venice, so I'm just gonna quickly squeeze that in here. But if you're in Venice, one thing I think is special for Venice is pasta with a kind of a squid sauce. So the sauce is made of the ink of the squid. I personally would never eat that. I don't think that sounds great, but I've had colleagues on like previous work trips who tried it. You have to keep in mind that it stains, so afterwards you might look like you're going to a metal concert. Yeah, that's something that you could try if you wanted to. And then obviously Aperol Spritz is everywhere there. And then here for Bologna, there's a ton of special foods. However, what I wanted to mention is that if you go into a normal restaurant here, you will not find pizza on the menu because pizza is not traditional for this region. However, you will find tons of delicious pasta recipes, such as the tagliatelle, I think it's called con ragu, something like that, which is basically what spaghetti bolognese is kind of evolved from, I guess. And then you obviously have lasagna and tortellini and all of that kind of stuff that you can eat and enjoy here. There's also tons of like cold cut shops where you can buy cheese and cold cut and other things. And you also have a lot of the pasticcerias, which sell a more sweet stuff, I guess. So lots of food to explore. I'm not that into trying different foods. I like cooking different foods. I'm not always interested in like eating stuff that I haven't prepared myself, which sounds so stupid, but yeah. So I think that's all I can say for now for Bologna. As you might have seen from the lighting changes, the weather is very unstable now. So yeah, we'll see. It might be that all of my time in Florence it will be raining. Fingers crossed that's not the case, but currently we have a lot of bad weather here. Yesterday I managed to hop into the pool right before they had to close it due to the weather. So yeah, I'm a little bit sad about that, but we'll take it as it comes. I have my rain jacket with me, so we'll make the best of it. And yeah, I'll see you again in Florence. I made it to Florence. Sorry for the lighting situation, but this room really doesn't have natural lighting. Yeah, these hotels, I just chose them for the pool option. So the rest of it is really like it's good. Like this, the breakfast at the previous one was really good as well. So it's not bad. It's just not what I would usually choose. However, the pool. So I will be in that pool in a couple of seconds. I just wanted to say something about the train situation here in Italy so far. I must say that the trains are great. I really don't have anything negative to say about them, apart from the fact that they're really not made for a lot of luggage. So the regional trains usually are like a little bit more like roomy, so you can squeeze your luggage somewhere. But the fast trains really don't seem to be made for luggage at all. Like you have those overhead thingies, but I can't put my like luggage up there. I'm like way too small, not strong enough, and I would be scared that it just falls out again. So the luggage situation definitely is a little bit dire. However, I was fine. This was also the shortest train ride I have. This was like less than 40 minutes because it was one of those like super fast trains. So that was quite nice as well. Now, for the train stations, Bologna train station is really, really big because it's one that is very important for the region. And so, yeah, you definitely don't want to be late and rushing to find your train. Also, the Italian trains don't have set platforms where they go from. In Germany, usually you have a lot of trains that always leave at the train at the same platform. And so, usually when you book a train, you will always already know the platform you have to go to, and it only changes sometimes. With the Italian trains, it doesn't tell you which platform you have to go to. So usually you would get to the train station. There would be a lot of like screens where you can read where the trains actually leave from, and then you can go there. However, they do change that very last minute as well. So for example, my train was supposed to leave on platform 18, and suddenly there was a train on platform 18 that was not my train. And so I checked on my phone, and suddenly it was leaving from platform 19, and that was about 5 minutes before the train would actually leave, and the train was 5 minutes late. So pretty much at the time when the train would have left, there was a completely different train on that platform. So you really, really, really want to make sure that you're getting on the right train. So there's like two things I would advise you to do. Don't go to the platform too early. Stay in like the central area close to your platform where you can still see the screens with the different like trains and platforms you have to go to. And then also there is a website you can use that always has the actual like correct platforms for the trains for all of the stations in Italy. So I will try to link that down below because that website literally saves your life if you're traveling here. So you do need a internet connection if you want to use the trains here, because otherwise you are screwed or you have to be lucky. So I made it here. I think I will head to the pool now, and then later on in the afternoon I will head into town to check it out for the first time, probably find myself some dinner and just get a little bit of an orientation. And then tomorrow I have actually booked tickets, or one ticket, it's just me, for the Uffizi museum. So I'm very excited to go there. And then we'll just have to see a little bit with the weather. It started like dribbling rain immediately when I left the station. So it will be rainy. The question is like how much rain it will be, because if it's just like a little drizzle, I really don't mind that. I have my rain jacket, but if it starts raining really hard, that would be sad. So I hope, like fingers crossed so much, that the rain will fall during the night so that during the day I can still go explore and stuff. Like obviously while I'm in the museum, I also really don't care, but afterwards I really wanted to go around the city, see the sights and all of that. So if there would be no rain for that, or not much rain for that, I would be very, very, very happy. So we have come to the end of my stay in Florence. Yesterday, I again really just overdid it a little bit. I had no respect for my body and my needs, but I did get to see a lot. So, yeah, the city of Florence is definitely very beautiful, and you can do a ton of things here. So, having just basically the one day was a bit limiting, but I still think that I got to see a lot. So I started out the morning with the Uffizi. This is a art gallery that is in like one of those old buildings where they did they ran the city basically. And the building is very, very beautiful. You have some great views from the second story where most of the exhibition is. It was very great. And then also this has some paintings from Caravaggio as well as the Judith painting from Artemisia. So I was very happy to see that. It fits my audiobook very well since I'm listening to Blood, Water, Paint still. And so yeah, it was great to be able to stand in front of that amazing picture. And I also just really, really like Caravaggio's art. I just really like the way it combines like light and dark. I think it's very pleasing to my eye. I really don't know much about art, so yeah, just take that with a grain of salt, I guess. But I do enjoy looking at those pieces. So I spent a little bit more than 2 hours in that museum, and what was a little bit frustrating is that you're allowed to take in half a liter bottles of water, but nothing that is bigger. And obviously my water bottle was just a tiny little bit bigger, so they made me drink the whole thing at the entrance and then throw the bottle away, which, yeah, that was basically my water for all of the day. The same is true for other museums here, so keep that in mind if you want to go somewhere. Then after that, it was around noon, I decided to go to the cathedral because I thought maybe around noontime the queue would be shorter. I waited in line for about 30 minutes, which was what I had kind of anticipated, and I think is an okay time for like a touristy place like this one. The inside was pretty, but I don't think that it was like super worth it. I think it is more beautiful from the outside, to be honest, and just like the sheer size of the cathedral is stunning. So I think you're fine if you don't want to stay in line and go inside. You don't really miss out like a ton, but it was still fine. And then in the afternoon, I decided to go back to the Pitti Palace and the gardens. I don't know, they have these royal apartments that I really wanted to see. I do like it when they kind of like refurnish places as they would have been. Now, the thing with that is, and I was like so annoyed at that, when I was inside and there was a sign that you can only see the royal apartments with guided tours that are offered in there, I wanted to sign up for one, and she told me you can only do it in the ticket office that is outside. And so I wasn't sure if I could like go outside and then like go back inside. And then also by the time I would have gone outside, there was a really long queue at the like bag checkpoint where they will search you and your bags. So I really didn't want to stay in line again to get back inside and then maybe not being able to get back inside. So I thought that was like so stupid. They don't tell you that if you want to see the royal apartments when you buy the ticket at the ticket office, they could just say, hey, if you want to do that, do you want to sign up for a tour? I was really annoyed at that. I was so annoyed at that. But apart from that, there is some other like great rooms you can see. It's definitely a very stunning and large palace. They do have a bit of a treasury with like plates and lots of gold, ivory, just like lots of interesting stuff to see. They also have a kind of clothing museum, which was really interesting. If you want to like see some designer clothes throughout the ages, it was really great. I really like stuff like that. I really enjoyed that. And the gardens, I wouldn't say you need to see the gardens. However, it's a stunning view. It's a really stunning view of the city because you're so high up, you have to go uphill a lot. But yeah, it's really a stunning view. Apart from that, I wouldn't say you need to go into the gardens because it's hot, it's dry. They don't really have like pretty flowers or anything like that. So yeah, if you want to go for the view, definitely go for it, but don't expect like lush, beautiful gardens like Versailles or anything like that. So yeah, that was my day yesterday. And then my feet hurt so much. So much. So I decided to go back to the hotel. I jumped into the pool for a couple of minutes before it closed, and then I went out for a little pizza dinner. And now I wasn't sure whether I wanted to do another little, another little like walk in the morning. However, when I woke up, it was very rainy, so I decided to just do a slow morning, get breakfast. Now I've packed all of my stuff. So I think I'm just like basically gonna head to the train station and then we're going to Rome. And I'm very, very happy and so lucky that yesterday the weather was so amazing because today it's not bad. It's not like constantly raining, but it's still like a different feeling if you have sunshine, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm very, very glad that worked out. But this is the end of this vlog. As I said, I will do a separate one for Rome because I don't want these to be like hours and hours long. This is also like today is kind of like the halfway point of my travels. So yeah, this was my little vlog, my adventures in Venice, Bologna and Florence. Definitely let me know if you've been to any of these cities and what your favorite things about them are. I will probably go back at some point with all of these. So yeah, I would love to hear your opinion. And if you haven't been, let me know which one of the three would you go to if you could. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. Leave a like and a nice comment. I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.